Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to complete this learning objective, which is after reading chapter 10 of The Watsons Go to Birmingham, which you should have done yesterday, and this is also a link to the novel if you need the whole chapter. Write a response explaining how the use of figurative language, and then there are two pieces of figurative language there that we're going to look at particularly, contribute to the tone of the chapter. So, we've talked about tone in the past, and the tone is the author's attitude towards a particular topic or the author's feeling towards a particular topic. So, we're going to try to figure out how the author's feeling whenever he says these words. All right, so your learning targets. So, what you're going to be able to do today are I can identify the types of figurative language, which you're going to do in this first column in the chart. And I can interpret the meaning of figurative language. So I can figure out what the figurative language is saying, find the meaning of the figurative language in order to determine how it affects the tone. All right, so we're going to do all these I can statements right here in this chart. So you have two pieces of figurative language. You're actually going to have a third because I missed one. Here it is, right here. And I'm going to do one of them with you. Sorry about this. All right. So we have three pieces of figurative language, and we're going to do this last one together. So in this chart, you're going to first write the type of figurative language. So we're going to focus on this last one. This one we're going to do together. And it says, feel that coolness. It feels like you're running your fingers through silk. Now, I have these highlighted in the text, so I can come back down here and just kind of figure out what he's talking about, look at the context of the sentence. Dad stuck his hand out the window just as the song came on and said, feel that coolness. It feels like you're running your fingers through silk. So to determine this piece of text, to determine what type of figurative language this is, I'm going to look for certain keywords that tell me whether it's a simile or a metaphor. Remember, similes use like or as. So I see this like right here. Now I'm going to make sure it's comparing two things because that's what a simile does. It compares two things using like or as. And it does. It's comparing how it feels with running your fingers through silk. Even though that's not what he's really doing, he just has his hand out the window. So I'm going to say this is a simile. And then we're going to move on to the mean. What does this quote mean? So he says, having his hand out the window feels like you're running your fingers through silk. Silk is something that's really smooth. So I'm going to say, having his hand, I'm going to start it by restating the question. This means that Dad feels like having his hand in the wind feels as smooth as silk. So it explains that he's not really running his hand through silk, but it feels like that when his hand's in the wind. Now, last column is matter. And in this section, we are focusing on how these pieces of figurative language affect the tone of the story or the attitude the author has or the feeling that the story is portraying. So we're going to focus on the tone in the matter section. So why does this matter? I want you to answer, how does it affect the tone in this column? So I'm going to say this creates a calm tone. Because can't you just picture it sitting in a car with your hand out the window, feeling how smooth that air? That's a calm feeling. So this creates a calm tone, and then explain a little bit. And I'm going to say, because this seems like Dad is relaxed. Ugh. Because the air is so smooth. All right, so you are going to complete this chart for these top 2 quotes and then turn it in. That's all you have to do for today. So it's kind of a light day. Oh, I spelled smooth wrong. That E doesn't need to be there. So whenever you are done and you've watched this whole video, I want you to change the learning objective to, let's highlight it. What color haven't we done yet? Let's highlight it red. And that'll get you 5 bonus points. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I love and miss you all. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you need help today. I may be hopping on Zoom around 4. I know that's a little later, but I want to make sure all your classes are over. I'll let you know for sure what time and post the link. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful day.